this ever happened to you while trading? You take a trade and it turns out to be a losing trade. Now, you got angry and went back to backtest your strategy to see what went wrong. And in that process, you come across so many other things that seems to look more perfect than your strategy. But after all that, you decided to say, no, I'm gonna stay consistent. I will stick with my strategy and give it another try. Now, you went back and took another trade, and that trade also turned out to be a losing trade. Now, you got pissed off and also went back to the same strategy to backtest it again and see what really went wrong. In that process, you start feeding yourself with some kind of information that is gonna make you divert from your current strategy. Now, you stress yourself a lot and you dive deep into analysis and do a lot of things and also figure out a lot of differences. Now, after doing all this, remember, no strategy is perfect. Every strategy passes through some losing streak. And you also found out that your strategy also passes through some losing streak. There has been some times where it went through 3 losses in a row, 4 losses in a row, 5 losses in a row. Now, you neglect all that, thinking that it is rare, not knowing that live trading is different from backtesting. Because when you backtest, you only reflect on the good result, but when you trade live, you don't know what is going to happen. So whatever happens, if it is negative, it affects you mentally and also psychologically. But when it goes fine, it also helps you build confidence in trading. But the thing is, how are you gonna know if it's gonna be good or bad? Because if it turns out bad, remember, your psychology is at risk. Now, this is one thing beginner traders face, and this is how they compulsively jump from one strategy to another, always trying to backtest and see what went wrong. Why don't you just give it all up and just stay with your strategy? Keep trading it and trade it out of that drawdown. But you wanna backtest the strategy over and over again. Now, after backtesting for the second time, you said, okay, I'm gonna do some little changes, but on the process of changing some little things, you find out that no, it doesn't work. I'm gonna just stick with my strategy since 2 losses in a row doesn't really matter. Now you jump back into the strategy and start trading again. The third trade also became a losing trade. Now you got really angry. You got mad at yourself and you start blaming yourself. Now you went back again to backtest again. And this is how traders get what we call analysis paralysis. This is a state whereby you analyze too much in the market that you don't even know when to take a decision or how to take a decision. You have destroyed the mental state about that strategy. You are not going to stay with that strategy again, because on the process of doing those backtesting, you have come across so many other things that seems to be more better and more perfect than your strategy. Now this feeds you with a lot of change in your heart to change your strategy. Now when you wanted to change that strategy, you said, okay, let me try it one more time to see if it's gonna work. Since from the backtesting result, there are some times when it took 3 losses in a row, 4 losses in a row, 5 losses in a row. But it is rare, which means it might be now that it is happening. What if this 4th trade gives me a win? Now you went again and took the 4th trade. Now the 4th trade also turns out to be a losing trade. Do you know why this is happening? This is happening because you are always trying to find what went wrong. Instead of you sticking to the strategy, recording all your trades in a journal, but you just want to find out how to make it perfect, forgetting that nothing can ever be perfect in trading. Everything is probability. And when you know how to master this art of trading, that is when you know, yeah, trading can really be difficult. It takes a strong mind to persevere through these difficult times in trading. Now, if you have gone through this same thing in your trading, please comment down below. You can write yes, because me, I'm also a beginner trader just like you, and what I do here is to share my own experience and also tell you how I'm trying to tackle those difficulties in trading. Now this has been one thing that has kept me down in trading. I always jump from one strategy to another, trying to look for the perfect thing, not knowing that it is not there. No strategy is perfect. Even professional traders take losses all the time. You need to know that losses are part of the game. This is what we have been hearing all the time, right? This is what we always hear from professional traders. We always hear from them that losses is part of the game. Now, we know that losses is part of the game, but too much of losses can also mess with your psychology, because psychology is the key thing in trading. When you keep jumping from one strategy to another, you are really messing up your psychology. Instead of doing that, why don't you just try to figure out a strategy that you will love? Because it's not about strategy. Let me tell you my own story. In the past few months, I've been able to stick with just one trading strategy without changing anything. I go through losses, I don't change anything. I just want to stick with it and see where it takes me. But do you know why I was able to settle down with this strategy? Because I discovered that I've fallen in love with this particular strategy. That's when I also noticed that trading is all about what you love. If you don't like that strategy, it's not gonna work for you. You need to love it. You need to find a way to feel comfortable with it. You need to find a way to stay at peace with your strategy. Because when your strategy is in a losing streak, if you don't have that peace of mind, relax and wait for the strategy to rise back up, you are going to do stupid things. Now, it will make you take too much losses and even getting close to blowing your account, and your equity curve keeps dipping in. This is one negative side of jumping from one strategy to another, because whenever you start a new strategy, there is a 70% chance that that strategy will be in a current state of losing streak. How many traders have experienced this? If you have, comment down below, because every strategy I want to try is always starting with a losing streak. That will keep messing around with my psychology, and I keep taking stupid trades and jumping into more losses and losses. I look at my equity curve, it keeps dipping in, which affected my mental state, and I was very depressed, and anxiety just weighed me down. Now, this is what I did to come out from this stupid behavior of trading. I found something that can keep me busy, because when you are not busy, you find yourself staying on chart all the time. And that is why whenever you take a loss, you go back to chart and always look for what went wrong. That curiosity of what went wrong, that is what will keep your trading very low. You need to stop looking for what went wrong. Just know that it is part of trading, and that is all. Whenever you take a loss in the market, keep it there, off your PC, off your computer, or just do something else. Don't just go back to charts to backtest again. Remember, this strategy has proven to be profitable. You need to give it chance to play out the edge, because if you don't give it chance, how are you gonna know how it will perform in the long run? Because trading is not all about how your strategy is performing now, it's how it will perform in the long run. What will happen? Because if you're trading just for now, then you're not yet a trader. You need to learn how to master the art of trading, so that in the long run you will stay in the market and always be profitable. Now, one big thing I've learned in the past few months is that whenever I take a loss while trading, I just have to leave my chart and do something else. Why will I want to backtest my strategy again? I have my backtesting result and it showed that it is profitable. Do you know that it is even mind-blowing that from the backtesting result, there comes a time when the strategy will give me 4 winning trades in a row, 5 winning trades in a row, which is a very huge winning streak. Because if you do the math of the risk to reward ratio, you will see that it is a huge percentage. Now, I always target 4 to 1 whenever I'm trading, because this strategy is a momentum strategy whereby price bounces off from a previously rejected level and pushes up with speed or pushes down with speed. That is how I trade. Now, whenever I catch this kind of move, I target 4 to 1, because I've seen most times when it even crosses 5 to 1, 6 to 1, 7 to 1 to even 8 to 1. But I've decided to stick with 1 because 4 to 1 is very common. So I'll stick with 4 to 1 and say yes, I'll always target 4 to 1. Now, can you calculate 4 to 1 risk to reward ratio times 5 or times 4 or even times 3? When you win that times 3, that's 12% of your account if you're risking 1%. What about 4 winning trades in a row? That is 16% if you're risking 1% of your account. This is what I've come to understand, that trading is about you being disciplined and doing the right thing at all times. Don't allow your emotions to jump into your trading and mess everything up. Just trade like a robot, because robots have no feeling, and you need to master that art of having no feeling. Although we are humans and losing is not part of humans. Humans always want to win. We always want to win. We don't want to lose. But in trading, it is not like that. That is why we are looking for an edge. An edge is simply you winning more than you lose in the long run. That is how you make money from trading. It's not by making huge money from one trade. No. How are you going to continue that? If you continue that same thing you did to make huge money and it works perfectly well in the long run, 5 years in the future, 6 years in the future, 7 years in the future, 8, 10 years in the future, that's when you know that it is profitable, and that's when you call yourself a profitable trader. When you flip a little amount of money to a big amount of money with just one single trading setup, that doesn't make you a profitable trader. That means you just gambled something out from the market. But when you have a particular system that has kept you going in the market, whenever you wake up, whenever you open your chart, you know what to look for, you know what to do, what you expect. Although you take losses sometimes, but you always know that, yeah, sometimes you're also gonna come across some really good winning trades that will always keep you profitable. Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably that guy who's just inside trading all the time, looking at charts all the time, studying all the time, backtesting all the time, analyzing all the time without doing anything else. You just do trading every day, and whenever you take losses, you are always stuck in the chart looking for what went wrong. That is just me, but I've just repented from that act. I've been able to be at peace with my strategy and always follow my strategy. If my strategy is in a losing streak, I just want to stick to it and walk it through. I want to see how it's gonna end. If it ends up blowing my account, cool, then I might decide to change something or try to figure out what went wrong because my account is gone. But if my account is not gone, I will just stick to the strategy and keep going, because I know that there is no way I will lose 10 times in a row. There is no way I will lose 8 times in a row. That is why I have a particular risk management strategy that I implement while trading. I always cut my risk shorts as I'm going deep into drawdown because I don't want to lose all my account. This is how it goes. When I'm at initial capital, I use 1%. When I'm going down, let's say 2% in drawdown or 3% in drawdown, I come down to 0.5% of my account. Now, when I keep going down, and I see my equity curve dipping in with speed, I can just cut my losses to quarter. I just divide 0.5% into 2 and I use quarter, which means I will have to lose 4 times to lose 1%. Now, this is how I decide to trade my profit accounts, because this has really helped me, and I've seen so many traders doing the same thing which has worked. Remember, profit accounts are different from your normal usual account. Profit accounts are accounts where you have strict rules that if you're not very careful, you're gonna blow the account. Imagine having the rule of not losing more than 10% of the account. Now, what are you gonna do when you are going down into drawdown and you are taking 1% risk all the time? 10 times and the account is gone. But what about this? You go down 3% in drawdown, you cut your losses short to 0.5%. Now you go down 5% in drawdown, you cut it down to 1/4%. Now, this will help you recover slowly. Don't rush anything, just take it easy. You will recover if you know what you're doing in the market. But if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes and compulsively do the same thing over and over again. Now, this is all I've got to say in this video. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and also leave your comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content like this. I'm just a trader like you, and I've come out to also put out my own experience in trading, so you can also see it and know that you are not the only one going through the same thing. So peace.